Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Lunch and Learn Live with Lynn. Going to put some light on this subject. So I'm trying something new today. I'm trying to do this live, not in my office, which means my dog could be in the background, but he actually has a blue collar on and he looks like Scooby-Doo. So you may hear him, is my point. So I'm sorry if it's a little distracting, but yeah, it's a long story why I'm doing it here today. But anyway, we are here to talk about changing your money mindset and why changing your money mindset isn't scary. So yes, I had to kind of leverage the whole Halloween theme. Everybody's doing it. We got to do it. So changing your money mindset isn't scary. It's actually possible. And today I want to talk about some ways that you can change your money mindset because I believe it's never too late to reshape how we think and how we feel about money. And I want to share some practical tips. I'm going to share 10 practical tips. Hard to say. Share 10 practical steps and tips. And if you stick around until the end, which I think is going to be about 20 minutes or so, I'm going to be pulling some of my affirmation cards for anyone who would like one. Okay. And I want to start with the first mindset shift, and I'm calling it reframing your limiting beliefs. All right. A lot of us grew up in a world where women weren't always encouraged to take charge of our money and our finances. We weren't encouraged to talk about money, finances. And like in my mom's case, she just brought home her check and she handed it over to her dad. Now, in my case, I was actually fortunate to observe my mom in a different role. So she went from that role to being very independent, to being divorced, striking out on her own with 4 kids. And I saw that independence and she kind of drilled it into my head. But a lot of people still to this day don't have that experience. So I want to talk about reframing those limiting beliefs. It's 2024, as we all know, almost 2025. And we women have every opportunity to feel confident and capable with our money. So let's start with tip number 1, which is changing your inner money story. For example, if your inner dialogue says, I'm too old to start investing, or I'll never be able to save enough, or, those types of things, write that down and actively reframe it. So try instead to say, I can make the most of every dollar I save now, or I'm taking smart steps to strengthen my finances every day. Get a journal, okay? It can be a blank journal, and spend 5 minutes every morning writing down positive, empowering statements about your financial future. This simple habit alone can really start shifting your mindset. And when I do the card pulls later for anyone who wants one, that is something that you can take, pin up on your refrigerator, pin up on a bulletin board, like keep it front and center. My kids make fun of me because I have affirmation signs and t-shirts. I have money shirts, but I have everything front and center so that it's a reminder to have that positive mindset, that money shift. And you can also pick up something like my Happier, Healthier, Wealthier journal. This one's a journal and a planner. So it's got places that you can journal. It's got exercises to help shift your mindset and your habits for not only your money, but your health and happiness also. And then this one actually has a planner with it. So, you can do daily, monthly, weekly, annual planning in this one. And I have one that's also just a journal. So if you don't have a journal, this one is a great place to start because there are blank journaling pages where you can do some of these exercises. And then I have exercises in here in each of the health, wealth, and happiness categories that can help you shift your mindset and your behaviors. Mindset shift number 2, embrace financial independence. It's about feeling capable of making your own financial decisions, and congratulations to you if you've always made your own financial decisions. Whether you're single, divorced, or in a relationship, it's so important to do this. And I want you to take a financial self-inventory, Okay. Know where your money is, how much you have, and if it's working for you. This includes your savings, your retirement accounts, your investments, and even your debts. Understanding what you have and potentially what you're missing is a huge confidence boost because you were in control. You know what you have, you know what you need, you know what you're missing. And my retirement readiness software platform has a way for you to track that spending. I call it the smarter spending tracking tool. And you can access that in my platform and you can keep track of that pre-retirement and in retirement. So, and you can also use it to project those retirement expenses. But it's really, really important to have that financial inventory to know what you have, what you're going to have in the future, and what you're missing. I don't believe for financial independence that you need to know every financial term out there. I just want you to understand focusing on your own picture. So that's what this financial inventory is to focus on your own picture and understand the terms that are part of your inventory and part of your picture. And then if you have those gaps, understanding the terms that relate to those gaps. If you're unsure about where to start, you could consider meeting with a financial coach like myself or a financial advisor, retirement advisor. I can connect you with any of those resources. Or like I said, use my retirement readiness software platform and use the smarter spending tracking tool and my assess module where you take a complete inventory of everything you have. And then you have a single picture, one place where everything is. And I always say, remember, knowledge is power. All right, mind shift number 3, face money fears head on. So, I want to get real for a minute here. Facing money fears is huge, especially for women our age. Things like running out of money, healthcare costs, unexpected life events, all of these can be intimidating. But by taking action, you can keep those fears from running your show. Okay, you want to be as much in control as possible. My third tip related to this is fearless finance action plan. Create a fearless finance action plan. I want you to write down your top 3 fears about your financial future. And again, this place is in here to do that. Write down your top 3 fears about your financial future. And then brainstorm one step for each that helps you feel more in control. Okay, so how can you feel more in control? So, as an example, let's say you're worried about healthcare costs. Learn about your Medicare options. Learn about the gap. Let's say you want to retire at 62, but Medicare doesn't start till 65. Learn about ways that you can fill the gap between 62 and 65. It happened to one of my best friends. She wanted to retire at 62, but she had that gap. So she picked up a part-time job doing what she was doing, but just on a part-time basis to cover the gap. That's one option. Learn about long-term care insurance. If you're afraid of outliving your money, which many of us are, it's the number one fear. People fear it more than death. You might want to explore options like annuities, right? They can give you a fixed guaranteed income for life. Or like I said, part-time work in those traditional retirement years, or maybe full-time work. Maybe you transition into some other field or some passion-based work. All right, mind shift number 4. Plan for health and happiness along with wealth. And that's one of the reasons I created a journal called Happier, Healthier, Wealthier. By the way, you go to hhwjournal.com to pick up the journal or the journal and the planner. So hhwjournal.com, and I'll put that in the notes here also in case you miss it. But I do believe that you need to plan for your health and happiness along with your wealth. Money is essential, but so is designing a life that brings you joy and purpose. Okay. So I want you to start a retirement bucket list. All right. Start a retirement bucket list. Again, you could put it in a journal. I have always created a bucket list. I called it a list of intentions of things that I wanted to bring into my life. And I go back and I look at those intentions, those journals, the bucket list, and say, what have I gotten done? What have I, really, what are those things that I wanted to do? Why did I do them? Why did I not do them? The bucket list should be filled with experiences, goals, maybe hobbies you want to pursue. Ask yourself what lights you up. All right. Maybe it's traveling, learning a new skill, or spending more time with family. When you focus on life that you want to create, financial planning becomes more meaningful and more motivating. And it's actually proven that you will reach those goals, that you will get it done. And guess what? Not surprisingly, prioritizing your health and your happiness leads to smarter financial decisions because they're aligned with a much deeper purpose, right? So making that connection is so important, making that connection to the deeper purpose. All right. Number 5, celebrate small wins. It's really easy to get focused on the big picture, right? You can focus on the big picture. You can get so tunnel vision on the big picture. But every little step you take forward toward your financial security is really worth celebrating. You got to celebrate the small wins. Like, did you pay off a credit card? Okay. Did you save a little extra this month? Did you finish a financial course? Those small victories add up and build confidence. So I had some financial wins this week. They were small, but I celebrated them. I was like, good job, Lynn, for focusing on those. Okay. And those are the things that you need to do. You need to give yourself a pat on the back. You need to celebrate whether you take, I don't know. Oh, there's my dog. Let me close the door. Anyway, so write them down. Write down your wins, big or small, at the end of each week. This habit is going to keep you positive and remind you of your progress. So make it a habit to write down those big and small wins at the end of the week, and it will keep you positive and remind you of your progress. It's so very important to celebrate those small wins. Tip number 6 is visualize your financial future. Like really, really take the time to visualize it. This is such a powerful tool, and I don't think enough people use it. I've actually had a really good experience visualizing. I played competitive sports. I would visualize us winning. I would visualize myself getting the championship trophy. I started triathlons later in life, and people told me one person in particular, an ex-husband, and one of the reasons he's an ex, told me I'd never finish a triathlon, that I was too old. I visualized myself swimming through that water. I visualized myself getting on the bike, and I visualized myself running across the finish line to my kids' smiling faces. And it helped me finish my first triathlon when I didn't think I could do it. I just kept visualizing their faces and wanting to show them that you can do this. So visualizing is such an underutilized and powerful tool. Visualizing your financial future can help you stay motivated. Picture yourself in a stress-free retirement with the freedom to do what you love, whether it's traveling, volunteering, starting a business, starting a new career, an encore career, spending time with family. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing your ideal life in retirement. This small practice, trust me, can shift your mindset and make financial planning feel like more exciting, like you look forward to it because it's connected to that purpose and that visualization versus feeling overwhelming or feeling afraid of it. Tip number 7 is to surround yourself with positive influences. All right. My mom always used to say, surround yourself with really good friends in high school. Choose your friends wisely. She was a wise woman. But whether it's friends or family or online communities like my private Facebook group, I also have a community within the software platform that once you subscribe to her retirement software, you are part of that community. It's designed to be a supportive community. It's just getting started. Having support from people who encourage you to make smart financial decisions or who you're observing making those smart financial decisions can help you shift your mindset. So, I like to surround myself with people who are on the same path with me. And then oftentimes, because of what I do, I'm surrounded by people who may want to borrow my confidence or learn from me in my mentorship roles. And for me, helping those people, sharing what I know, to me, that is lifting me up. Like I feel so much more empowered. So I always tell people, when you learn something, when you do something go out and share it with someone who needs it, whether it's a niece, a nephew, a child, a neighbor, a friend, whatever. So surround yourself and also help people, help other women. I, like to surround myself with people who inspire me. I have many people. And remember, the more you surround yourself with those positive influences, the stronger your mindset will become. Tip number 8, let me take a sip before I share this one. Tip number 8 is about challenging negative self-talk. I had a woman the other day, it's kind of related to this, but we were talking about her situation and she kept saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." And I was like, you don't have to apologize for anything. Like, it's a thing that we women do. I know this. I had a neighbor, the first words out of her mouth would be like, "I'm sorry my kids came over and played on your trampoline," or, I'm sorry that I didn't grab the mail for you, or I'm sorry. She constantly was saying sorry. I'm going to give you some tips on how to rephrase things at the end of this, after we do the affirmation card pulls. But I think our negative self-talk, saying sorry, can really jeopardize our money mindset and kind of set us back. So for instance, have you ever thought to yourself, "I'll never understand investing. I'll never understand my money. I'm just no good with money"? Have you heard people that say this? Those beliefs can be really limiting. So I always tell people, challenge them and shift your mindset. And I'm going to give you some tips to do that at the end. Let's see. Before we move on to tip 9, every time you have a negative thought, ask yourself if it's actually true. Okay. Then replace it with a more empowering thought, like, "I'm learning more about investing every day," instead of, "Oh, I'll never be good at investing. I'm learning more about it every day." Or, "I'm getting better with my money because I'm taking action," right? This practice builds self-belief. It's one of the reasons in my software platform, I don't call it a budget, because I feel like that's like a limiting word. It's kind of like in like the nutrition world, dieting. Diet is actually what you eat, not what you don't eat. But people think of diet like, "I need to go on a diet." And I'm always like, no, you need an eating plan, right? Because you have to eat. You need a spending plan because you are going to spend money throughout your life. So rather than making it feel restrictive, say, "Yes, I'm spending, but I'm spending with intention and I'm spending in line with my values and my goals." So you can just make those small tweaks. Tip number 9, it's a big one. Focus on what you can control. With so much financial information and market news out there, and economy and politics and religion, it's easy to feel anxiety, overwhelm. But the key to a resilient money mindset is controlling the controllables. And there are things we can control. You can control how much you save, the financial habits you build, and the education you seek out, and the action you take. Because I always say it's one thing to get educated, it's one thing to listen to this, live that I'm doing today, but it's another thing to get a journal, right? It doesn't have to be this one, but to get a journal, follow the steps that I'm talking about, and take action. So few people actually take action. But letting go of the things you can't control, like market volatility, taxes, those types of things, it's going to free up mental energy to focus on positive energy, positive actions. Because if we just overwhelm ourselves and focus on the things we can't control and worry about the things we can't control, really saps all the energy for the things we can control. So you want to put the shield around yourself to protect yourself from those things and say, "You know what? I'm committed to focusing and controlling what I can control. I'm going to focus on how I use my time, how I use my money, who I spend my time with. And I'm going to focus on being intentional about all of those things." And your mindset will shift. Number 10 is invest in your financial education. If you're here watching and listening, if you've watched my other lives, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, if you listen to my podcast, this week I'm doing the 129th episode. There's a lot of content and guidance there. Throw on some headphones and go listen. The more you understand, the more empowered you'll feel. Take a course, read a book, listen to podcasts. The Her Retirement Podcast. There's so many great resources out there for women that just didn't exist before the internet, before podcasts, before YouTube. Talk to a coach. I'm available. Other coaches, health, wealth, mental well-being coaches. There's resources there for you. Knowledge is truly power when it comes to money mindset. Commit to learning one new thing about personal finance each week. Again, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. You don't have to, pick up a book. I have this book, Retirement Solved, right? It's 185 pages or something, right? There's 90 questions about your money and retirement and then answers. So I have research-backed answers for the most common questions I've heard over the last decade. Read one a week, right? It doesn't have to be overwhelming. Take it one step at a time. If you pick up the Healthy, Wealthy, Happier, let me say that again, Happier, Healthier, Wealthier journal, don't do everything at once. There's exercises and habit trackers and financial goals and cash flow snapshot. Pick one section, right? Focus on your happiness this week or this month. So bite off small chunks because then it feels less overwhelming. Over time, you're going to feel more in control, informed, and ready to make confident decisions. All right. So I want to do some affirmation card pulls. So if you want one, put in the chat that you want one, and I'll be pulling those for you. But before we do that, I want to give you some language rephrasing, some things to rephrase when you say them, okay, as it relates to money mindset. Number one, don't say, I'll never have enough to retire. Instead, say, I'm taking steps now to build a secure retirement or a more secure retirement, right? Have you ever looked at that book, Eat This, Not That? I love that because visually you can see what you should eat. This is kind of the same concept. Don't say this, say this instead. Don't say, I'm too old to start saving or investing. Say instead, it's never too late to improve my financial future. You can take one basic tip, action item that I give you, and it will incrementally improve your situation. Don't say, I'm not good with money. Say instead, I'm learning more about managing my money each and every day. Don't say, I'll always have debt. Say instead, I'm working on a plan to pay down my debt and build my wealth. Don't say, oh, retirement planning is too complicated for me. Say instead, I'm capable of understanding my financial options with the right guidance. Number 6, don't say, I don't earn enough to save. Like I've heard that so much. I don't earn enough to save. Say instead, I can start saving small amounts and it will grow over time. Okay. Don't say, I'm afraid I'll make the wrong decision. Say instead, I'm gathering knowledge to make confident financial choices. Number 8, don't say, I've missed my chance to build wealth. So many people feel that way. Actually, so many women in particular that I meet, they don't really like the word wealth because they're like, I'm not wealthy. Well, you know what? Wealth is a mindset, right? Wealth can be defined by you. So it's not a no word, right? It's a word we should all embrace. So don't say I've missed my chance to build wealth. Say instead, there's still time to make smart financial moves and build a more solid future. Don't say money stresses me out, although I admit it does stress many of us out, me included. Say instead, I'm taking control of my money one step at a time. So I'm taking control of my money one step at a time. And I used to worry about being a bag lady a lot before I got into this industry. Even though I was well employed and I had a retirement savings account, my mom kind of drilled it into my head, like, don't be a bag lady, don't be a bag lady, don't be a bag lady. So I kind of grew up with this like fear of like, oh my gosh, like I even asked her once when I was little, okay, mom, but what's a bag lady? I never saw a bag lady in my small town. But those early experiences can really get ingrained in our head. So yeah, I grew up with not a lot, a single mom raising 4 kids. So to me, money was a little bit of a scarcity. So to me, I've had to kind of overcome that scarcity mindset and embrace an abundance mindset. So I really, really have been working hard on that. And rather than fearing money, you know, they say with anxiety, the worst thing you can do, because I've suffered from general anxiety for some of my life due to other circumstances beyond money. But in my training on anxiety, if you run from anxiety, it's going to chase you even harder. So face the anxiety and change how you think about it. So instead of fearing money, say, I don't fear you. I embrace you, and I'm going to have an abundance mindset. Like focus on what you have, not what you don't have. Another one of my mom's favorite expressions. We would focus, and I've said this, say this to my 3 kids now, focus on what you have, not on what you don't have. Another little Jedi mind trick. It's what this is. It's Jedi mind tricks. And finally, number 10, don't say, I can't afford to ask for help with my finances. Say instead, seeking advice is an investment in my financial well-being, because that's what it is. If you need help, it is yet another investment. It's yet another form of self-care, right? It's you taking care of yourself, investing in that help when you need it, if you need it. So there you have it, my 10 tips for shifting your money mindset. And you can download, I'm going to do this as like a guide. You can download this if you're watching this not live. And then you can get these rephrases of, don't say this instead. Mindset is a foundation for financial success. It starts here. It starts in our mind with our behaviors and with our actions and what we're willing to commit to. And finally, money mindset and financial independence, or more financial independence, is about consistency. That's like my word. It was my word for 2024. It will be my word for 2025 and maybe years and years after that. Because without consistency, I don't think people can truly accomplish what they want to accomplish, whether it's consistency on walking every single day, focusing on your health, consistency in how you eat, consistency how you think, consistency on how you save. Think about compound interest. If you start saving early, it's that consistency of saving and investing that yields the best outcome. So finally, the foundation for life success is commitment and consistency. And I believe each small step you take builds a stronger, more confident you. And if you need to buy a money shirt or get, empowering statements on a t-shirt or a hat or a poster on the wall, or you pick up this journal, or you pick up one of my books, you subscribe to my software, listen to my podcast, listen to other people out there, other experts, do what you have to do to get yourself good from your money mindset perspective. So I'm going to pull some affirmation cards. So if you would like one, go ahead and put it in the chat. I did have a couple people email me and saying that they couldn't be here. So they wanted me to pull a couple affirmation cards for them. So I'm going to do that first. So let me know in the chat if you would like one. And if you found these tips helpful, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more insights. I go live every Thursday at 12:15. And you can also listen to my podcast. As I said, check out all the resources in my website. So what I'm going to do is, I do have some cards here. I do have a pack of these. They're like 65 affirmation cards that people can get. But I also have all 65 in my journal planner. So what I'm going to do is I have a pen here. Give me a second. My friend Lisa wanted me to pull an affirmation for her today. So I'm actually just going to flip through my book. I'm not looking. I'm just going to flip through it. Okay, Cynthia, I'll get you one. I'm going to flip through it, see wherever I land. All right. I landed. Oh, hold on. Okay. I landed on I am worthy of abundance. All right. So, Lisa, I am worthy of abundance. That's for Lisa. Okay. And then one other quick thing I wanted to do, just as a bonus, is I have these Caroline Richardson self-care cards because I'm so much into self-care. And I love pulling these for people. So, Cynthia, I'll get back to the couple of people that emailed me, but I'm going to flip and do an affirmation card for you. I'm not looking. Oh, there's yours, Cynthia. I am a money magnet. I like that one. I am a money magnet. All right. And then I'm going to pull a Caroline Richardson card for you. I know it's a little foo-foo, but it's fun. All right. So let's see what we get for Caroline here. I'm sorry, Cynthia. I said Caroline. Caroline Richardson's the creator of the cards. All right. Cynthia, yours is time. It says schedule a sacred date with yourself. You deserve time for your life. That's a good one. So time. Schedule a sacred date with yourself. You deserve time for your life. So you're a money magnet and you need to schedule a date with yourself. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my friend Christy. She asked me if I could do one for her. So I'm going to pull one. And if you'd like one, just let me know in the chat. Let's see. Oh, I am abundant. Whoops. How do I do this? There we go. I am abundant. That's a good one. I like that one. All right, Christy. Yours is I am abundant. Okay. All right. And I'm going to do a Caroline Richardson card for her also. She's been going through some extra challenges lately. So let's see what we got. This one is intent. Focus your energy. There is amazing power in a strong intention. Yeah, I love that word intention because I believe that we should plan our life with intention, plan our life, our retirement, our money with intention. So focus your energy. There's amazing power in a strong intention. Love that. All right. Anyone else? Last chance. Oh, shoot. I have one more. Sorry, just remembered. One more for Abby. Okay, let's see. One more for Abby. Remember, this journal is at hhwjournal.com. Lots of good stuff. Okay, I'm not looking. See where I stop. I am worthy. Okay. I have these interspersed with the weekly planner in the journal and planner. In just the journal, they're just all grouped together. All right. I am worthy. That's cool. Let's do a Caroline Richardson one. Here we go. Action. Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite words. Take action. The journey to find your lost self begins with one step. And that was what I was talking about, right? Take one step at a time. Take action. The journey to find your lost self begins with one step. Love it. All right. So if you missed the live today and you would like to schedule a chat with me, we can have a chat, getherdonechat.com, and we can go over this. I can pull an affirmation card from my deck and one from Caroline Richardson's. If you'd like to do that, it's fun. And I appreciate you all being here today. And hopefully you're going to take some steps to change your money mindset. So reach out to me. As I always like to say, it's all about knowing more, having more, and living more, and getting her done. You can reach out to me at lynnt@herretirement.com or schedule a chat with me at getherdonechat.com. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.